guys, and welcome to your photosynthesis, oh my gosh, photosynthesis homework video. We're just gonna get right on into it. So what you guys already know. I know you guys already know this because we've talked about it in class a couple times already. But obviously plants need the sun to grow because plants use the sun to make food. That's why plants are autotrophs. They make their own food. Preparan su propia comida. Okay, but when we say that plants are making their own food, what is actually happening? Obviously, they are taking sun energy and turning it into food for themselves. Están tomando energía del sol y convirtiéndola en alimento. On a cellular level, though, what does this look like? First of all, this is a plant cell, and one of these organelles is where photosynthesis happens. It is, of course, the chloroplast. So let's zoom in on the chloroplast here for a second. Here's the chloroplast, and inside the chloroplast, we have these little stacks called thylakoids. Dentro del cloroplast tenemos estos pequeños apilamientos llamados thylakoids. And thylakoids are able to capture sunlight. Pueden capturar la luz solar. So we have sunlight entering the chloroplast of plant cells, but we also have two other inputs needed for photosynthesis. Our other two inputs are, of course, water and carbon dioxide. I'm going to pause on carbon dioxide here for a second. A lot of times you guys say that carbon is the input, but it's a totally different thing than carbon dioxide. So what is the difference between carbon and carbon dioxide? ¿Cuál es la diferencia entre el carbon y el carbon dioxide? Carbon dioxide or CO2, that dioxide or that O2, it means that we have one carbon atom and two oxygen atoms. That's the C and the O2. 1, 2. CO2. When you just say carbon, you're talking about just one carbon atom, which is not an input for photosynthesis. Carbon dioxide and carbon are different things, and it's important because the carbon dioxide that goes into photosynthesis is separated, and that carbon part of carbon dioxide is rearranged, and that is how we get our output. So we, of course, have our outputs of glucose, the food, the sugar, and oxygen. So here's where that carbon went. Look, right there, that carbon came from the carbon dioxide. So that's why it's important that we say carbon dioxide versus carbon, because carbon alone is a different thing and it's not one of the inputs for photosynthesis. And then our other output is oxygen. So essentially, carbon dioxide, water, and light go into the chloroplast and they create glucose and oxygen. Of course, the glucose is food for the plant. La glucosa es alimento para la planta. And the oxygen is a byproduct that the plants mostly release. Y el oxygen es un subproducto que las plantas liberan mostly. So you guys can see our beginning letters of our inputs are C, W, L, and our beginning letters of our outputs are G, O. That's how we get our special memory technique. Can we like go out? That is why every single time photosynthesis comes up, we are going to write on our paper CWLGO. To remember, carbon dioxide, water, and light go into the chloroplast and are converted into glucose and oxygen.